Greetings, folks. What we have here is yet another Video8 camcorder from Canon. Precision engineered genuine Canon video lens with Flexi Zone. One of the stupidest controls I've ever seen in my life. This is the model ES410V. The V, I believe, stands for view screen, which is what this has. It's got a screen similar to the camera I'm using now. In addition to a color, I believe that's a color viewfinder. It might not be. It doesn't actually call it out as being color. I thought that it was color, but I guess maybe not. Some controls on the side for that. Various mode buttons. Backlight compensation for some reason. I don't know why they chose to do that, but they did. These, of course, are your edit search buttons. Power control. This battery, as you can see, it's not even charging, so it's completely toast. Eject for the tape basket. This is not a high 8 model, it is just regular Video 8. There's your zoom control. On the front, we have full-size AV inputs. Sorry, they're outputs, they're not inputs. This does not record the tape. There's no S-video, this is not, it would go there, I suppose, but this is not a high 8 model. It's also only got a mono audio microphone. And right down there is a microphone input. There, of course, is aforementioned microphone, as well as the lens. Canon video lens, 22 times zoom. Claims 500 times digital zoom with an image stabilizer. Of course, a lot of the functionality actually doesn't work when you're in the standard mode, which is what it is right there, the automatic mode. You've got to turn it to this in order to get a lot of the manual controls. So, kind of a little cumbersome to use. Maybe a little bit more complicated than it should be. There you can see, if I enter the menu here, you can see a lot of these controls I can't actually do anything with. And again, the controls layout is not very obvious. The normal thing would be to look at this, which has got up and down on it, but that doesn't do anything. Or these, which have plus and minus on it. You'd think that those would do something, they don't. But you gotta use this dumb little, I guess it's like a touch wheel or something. But you can see I can't do anything with this. I'm pushing it to the side and it's not doing anything. If I push it down, you can see I can go through the menus. I can adjust the digital zoom, the low light, which I guess boosts the exposure or something. And all of that. But if I change this to this other mode with the yellow box on it, which I guess is like sort of like a manual AE mode, you can see I now am able to adjust these. Turn the image stabilizer off, adjust the white balance, etc., etc. I still have yet to figure out how the digital picture effects work. Actually, no, that's not true. I did figure that out. That too actually has something to do with this mode here. If you're in the regular, the fully automatic mode, you can't actually adjust the digital effects. But in this mode, you can. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at these when I switch over to this camera in just a few minutes, thanks to the magic, in fact not even minutes, it'll be almost instantaneous, thanks to the magic of videotape. Okay, I had to run the cleaning tape through it in order to get it to do something useful, but I believe we are now recording with the Canon ES410V. One thing I've noticed that's missing on this camera is counter reset. There is no counter reset functionality on this whatsoever. So that's kind of a little strange. And you'll notice, maybe you can actually hear it, I'm pushing a button on the side of this and it's not doing anything. That is because I am in fully automatic mode, and you cannot adjust a lot of the features on this camera in fully automatic mode. Date and time. functionality, which you can adjust. We can also take a look at faders. And of course, here we are back to normal. Again, because somebody's going to complain even though it's in the end of the video, here's the camera that I used to shoot the first part. We're showing off this ES410V. So I got the image stabilizer turned on. We'll see how well it performs. I believe it's just digital image stabilization, so probably not the best. But yeah, it's doing a perfectly credible job. At least based on what I can see through the view screen. I guess we'll find out what it looks like on the final video, because what you see on the view screen is a very, very, very low pixel count version of what you actually end up. Low resolution, that's what I'm looking for. It's a much lower resolution version of what you see in the final recorded video. So this auto exposure, I'm going to go ahead and I'll close the view screen. You might actually hear the CRT viewfinder kick in when I do that, with its 15 kilohertz whine. This is sort of like a manual exposure mode, sports mode, portrait mode, spotlight mode, sand and snow. We'll switch it back to this manual, and I'm going to go ahead and reopen the view screen. And we'll take a look here at some digital effects. 16:9, which I don't think is a true 16:9. I think that's just what they use to call cinema and Sony cameras. Negative art, mirror, mosaic, and of course art or solarize. And that's it. So you don't get very many features with this. Can't do anything with the title or while the camera is recording. Unfortunately, because the battery doesn't work, there's not really much else that I can do with this camera. So I think I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video with that. So, thank you for watching, and if you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below.